From Wood TV 8, this is a breaking news alert.
At least 2 damaging tornadoes rolling across West Michigan this evening. First, in South Portage, the tornado ripping across Center Street and Oakland Drive, damaging businesses, knocking down trees, and causing significant damage to a FedEx sorting facility, a building just built 2 years ago. Moments later, a second touchdown in Union City, the first tornado emergency ever issued in Michigan. Tonight, no fatalities reported, but now the cleanup begins.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Susan Shaw.
And I'm Brian Sterling. Tonight, West Michigan picking up the pieces after at least 2 tornadoes tore through South Portage and Union City.
Not long ago, Governor Whitmer declared a state of emergency and activated the State Emergency Operations Center. Right now, Consumers Energy is showing at least 25,000 customers without power, a majority of those where we saw those 2 tornadoes.
Tonight, our crews are live from some of the hardest hit areas. We want to get straight out to a mobile home park near Portage that was damaged tonight. News 8's Amanda Porter is there. Amanda, what have you seen tonight?
The tornado caused many residents to be displaced tonight, many of them gathering here at the Sunoco gas station here in Portage. Tonight, hours after the tornado hit, people are still accounting for their loved ones and their property. Police still have Pavilion Estates blocked off as residents say they are trying to contain a gas leak and look for anybody who may be trapped in the debris, though there are no fatalities tonight. I did talk with one resident, Taylor Cool, who lives towards the back of Pavilion Estates, and he says the damage is extensive.
It is absolute destruction, and there are trailers completely gone. There are trees down. There are trees impacted trailers. There are going to be a lot of people with no homes tonight, and it's very upsetting. And we were lucky enough to get unscathed, and yeah, it was intense. It's very, very bad. I feel bad for all the families. There are a lot of families in there that are struggling, that have just lost everything. So.
Were you home when the...
No, I actually work at the Target Distribution Center, and they locked us down, and my husband called me, and I was like, I'm leaving, and then I came here, and it's been blocked in. There's so many trees down in there, they can't even get to some of the people that are in there. They're going door to door and searching each house just to make sure that everybody's been pulled out.
The scene has cleared up in the last hour or so, but police are still telling people to stay off the roads and avoid Pavilion Estates if possible. They say the power in this area will be down tonight, but as you can see, many Consumers Energy trucks were working in the area to restore the power. Now, if you have to travel, especially in the morning, you'll want to watch out for downed power lines. Check in with your neighbors too, as gas leaks are still being addressed. Portage Public Schools has been canceled for tomorrow. People, though, can gather at First Assembly of God Church or Radiant Church in Portage. Both places will have a capacity of 100 people. For now, I'm live in Portage. Amanda Porter, News 8.
Yeah, a lot of debris to sort through.
Yeah, and definitely feel for those residents. They were certainly in shock tonight. Amanda, thank you.
Thanks, Amanda. Now let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Ellen Baca. What can you tell us about the path of tonight's tornadoes, Ellen?
Here's a look at the 2 most powerful tornadoes. We had several tornado warnings that were issued through the night, along with some severe thunderstorm warnings. And let's not forget some of the large hail that was produced today across all portions of West Michigan. But very clearly, you can see the tracks that cut across portions of West Michigan here, starting in Van Buren County and then moving especially through the heart of Kalamazoo County for the northern track. That's the Portage tornado. And then looking at the Union City tornado, we also had a really defined track. Both of them almost parallel, and that makes sense. They were being steered by the same upper level winds, and both of them touching down very shortly between one and another. So it was an incredibly intense moment here as we had 2 tornado-warned cells only about a county away from each other, both of which produced damage and both of which will likely have a pretty strong tornado warning associated with it. Now, here's a snapshot from 6:02. At this point in time earlier this evening, we had a tornado warning that was ongoing for Portage as the damage confirmation was just coming in. At the same time, for the Union City tornado, we had the telltale hook signature And in addition to that, debris was being wafted into the air, allowing the National Weather Service to confirm this and turn it to the purple warning, which means we're seeing debris. Shortly after this, the Kalamazoo Portage tornado also turned purple, flashing, indicating that debris was being wafted. Luckily for us, we're only seeing these 2 tornadoes confirmed so far. However, as the sun rises tomorrow and survey crews are out, we'll have to assess some of these other warnings to see if additional damage has been done outside of these 2.
Ellen, thank you. Another location in Portage that was hit hard was a FedEx facility that opened just 2 years ago this month. The roof of the building and several vehicles there have been heavily damaged. News 8's Megan Bunchman was at the facility tonight.
Cleanup continues in Portage right now, nearly 3 to 4 hours after that storm hit. We are just across the street from that FedEx building that we're going to show you video of right now. You can see that roof torn off, that building destroyed. Now, I talked to several FedEx workers who told me that they were inside, some still out on their routes when the storm hit. They all say that no one was injured in that, which is always great news. Now, of course, we expect emergency management and NOAA, as well as the National Weather Service, to be on foot tomorrow, taking a look and surveying the damage. But if you take a look at the video that we have on camera right now, you can see that most of that debris is scattered and laying in different directions. That is indicative that there was some type of tornadic or cyclical motion, showing that that really was a touchdown site here. I spoke with one person who lives just across the street from the FedEx building. You probably could not get any closer if you really wanted to. And this is what he had to say when it all went south.
Well, standing on my front porch, watching the thunderstorms happen, my grandmother sent me a text saying a tornado touched down on I-94 right here next to our house. So, you know, you usually hear about the tornadoes, but they usually don't ever drop down here. So I'm on the porch watching. Looking this way towards FedEx building, I see a giant funnel cloud in the air of things flying in the air heading this way. And once that happens, I run through my house, and it's not like you see on the TV shows. Outside is pitch white, swirling everywhere. I run to my basement as fast as I can. You just hear things outside, dropping, flying, crashing, trees falling. I thought the house was gonna come up, to be honest with you. My garage is torn off the ground. Come out, look around, FedEx building is destroyed across the street.
We, of course, will continue to have crews on scene for the remainder of the next couple of days as cleanup continues. I do want to point out there's a reason that we are actually not walking around. Yes, it's dark out. I might trip over debris, but more importantly, there are downed wires everywhere. One's just to my right here. It looks like a tree limb, and this is why it is so important that you stay in. You do not go on the roads tonight, and you don't go exploring even after the aftermath, because things are still very much active as crews work to make sure everyone is safe. For now, I'm Megan Bunchman in Portage, News 8.
Now to St. Joseph County. In Centerville tonight, several buildings in the town also saw significant damage. We want to get out to News 8's Taylor Morris right now. How are recovery efforts going there tonight, Taylor?
So we are near downtown Centerville, and we just want to give you an idea of how strong these winds were and some of the damage that we're seeing. If you walk with me this way, you can see this large piece of metal that was completely ripped off of a building nearby. Look how heavy that is when I pick it up, and just how strong those winds were. This entire field is completely covered with insulation, metal, debris. And if you take a look at the roof right up there, that is a State of Michigan building, and a tarp from today's storm remains. Many people in St. Joseph County are still without power tonight as well. Just across the street from where we are is a building that saw significant damage. I want to give you a look at what we witnessed earlier. The roof of Nottawa Gas was completely ripped off during the storm. People in the area tell us the owners opened the business not too long ago. Earlier today, fire crews and the St. Joseph County Sheriff were in the area assessing the damage. We talked to one woman who lives not too far from where we are right now. She describes the moments leading up to the tornado.
Didn't even think it was happening. I was sitting at the kitchen table and talking to my son, and kept hearing whoo, the wind blowing and howling. And I said, hang on, I got to shut the window because the stuff was blowing off my table. Shut the window and then started seeing things fly past it. Trampoline, greenhouses, ball hoops, everything. Everything just started going, and then when it calmed down, we looked out, and here we are.
Earlier today, I ran into the undersheriff of St. Joseph County, who says as of now, there are no reports of any fatalities or injuries in the area. And as a reminder, they do want people to know if they do come across a downed power line to either call them or consumers. Live in Centerville tonight, Taylor Morris, News 8.
Okay, scary situation there, Taylor. Thank you. The Portage Pizza Hut at Oakland Drive and Center Avenue was heavily damaged during the storms tonight. Take a look at the footage of this building. You can see the roof is collapsed and there's significant damage. The assistant manager was inside at the time with employees, and here's what he had to say about the experience.
My cook's trying to hold the front door shut, so I yelled for everybody to get in the walk-in cooler, and as I'm running towards the walk-in, the ceiling's just coming apart on all of us.
No injuries reported there.
New tonight, the Salvation Army setting up 2 shelters in Portage for those displaced from the storms. One is at First Assembly of God, that's in the 5500 block of Oakland Drive. Another at Radiant Church at 995 Romance Road.
Consumers Energy has already begun restoration efforts for the more than 20,000 people without power. Consumers Energy estimates that most customers will not be restored until 10 o'clock tomorrow night.